and another episode of What's for Dinner. Now, I'm going to be making tomato soup and sandwiches for dinner tonight, and I know that I've made 2 different tomato soups. I made a cream of tomato soup and I did tomato and basil soup, but this is just going to be a really super simple, easy tomato soup, very similar to the other one that I did. I can't remember how long ago I did it, but since I was throwing it together and I've kind of worked on this one over time, I thought I'd go ahead and share it with you, and because we can never have too many ideas about what to have on these busy weeknights. And tonight we're having this tomato soup and we're having Spam burgers because we're rotating our food storage, and just like every good prepper, I too have Spam in my food storage, but we like it. But you know how I make it, which might be different from how you do it. I bake mine. I slice it fairly thin and I bake it on a sheet pan until all the fat has rendered out of it and it's nice and crispy. So it's almost like eating bacon. But that to me is the most pleasant way to eat Spam. I don't dislike it at all. But let's get started on this soup. This soup is super, super simple. I've got 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. You can use plain tomato sauce. You can use these are ground tomatoes. You can use crushed tomatoes, whatever you have on hand. Even if you have diced tomatoes on hand, go ahead and use those, and you can just put it in your blender or use your immersion blender. I've also got about a quart of chicken stock. Bless you, honey.
I got yours, baby.
Right before I got on camera, I felt like I had to sneeze, and then I said, hang on, I gotta sneeze, and then I didn't sneeze. Don't you hate that?
But I did.
But Rick just And I've got a pint of heavy cream, and we may only use a cup. It just depends. When we get to that point, we'll just decide. We'll start with a cup, and then we'll go from there. I'm also going to use some dry spices, onion powder, Italian seasoning, basil, and garlic powder. And I've got my pot over here. I'm going to turn it on to medium heat, medium-high heat. I'm going to put it on a 6. This is a little olive oil, and I'm going to put a glug or 2 in there. This is solely for flavor, nothing else. Get out of the way and switch places with Rick. Put my bottle back. Give this a second. And you can use fresh garlic, fresh onion, whatever you like at this point. It's your choice. I'm just trying to make this as quick and easy as I possibly can. But we want to get that pan up to be a little bit hot because I want to put the tomatoes in first. We're getting there. Oh, my oven vents on this back burner, and it gets so hot you can actually cook stuff on that thing. I hate that. We're getting there. You'll know when it's hot enough. You know when you move it and the oil ripples, that's when you know your oil is hot enough. And olive oil, this is extra virgin olive oil because that's what I have in my cabinet right now. Otherwise I have sunflower oil and grapeseed oil. You can use anything. It doesn't have to be olive oil, but I like the flavor in this, so you little olive oil. And yeah, my friend Cat's Cradle, she does a similar quick tomato soup. Trust me, once you start making it this way, you will never, ever, 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 ever buy the condensed tomato soup in a can. Now, don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with that soup. It is starting to ripple, and I'm pretty sure you can't see that on camera. So, once it hits that, we'll go ahead and put our tomatoes in. Give it a good stir. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chicken stock and I'm going to clean the sides of this this can the best that I can. So what I'm going to do now is that you kind of can rotate the cans, and that's, you know, I'm going to call it good. We'll put the rest of the stock in here. Use homemade stock if you have it. I actually do have some in my food storage, but I'm being stingy with it. this box is not quite a quart. It's 26 ounces. Quart's 32. So give that a good stir. And when you use the crushed or the ground tomatoes, there is no need to get out a blender or an immersion blender, because you can eat it just as is, and it's going to have a really lovely texture to it. It's not going to be, if you want it smooth like a bisque, then you can blend it. But look, it's Monday night. So I'm pretty sure bisque ain't on the menu on Mondays. Soup is. Right? Okay. Oh, see, there goes that stinking onion powder again, right? About a teaspoon of onion powder. About a teaspoon of garlic powder.
You're doing it Justin Wilson style.
The same, I guarantee. The same of the Italian seasoning and the basil. I used to love watching him too. When I was a kid, Saturday afternoon. Justin Wilson from Cajun Country. That was a treat. We used to love watching that. Alright. Saturday afternoons used to be great on public television when I was a kid, because you always used to have At the Movies with Siskel and Ebert, and any number of cooking shows, and then oh gosh, This Old House. I watched that all the time growing up. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a simmer. We're going to let it simmer for like 5 minutes, and I'm going to let that happen, and I'm going to come back, and then we're going to add the cream. All right, we're back. This has come to a little simmer. It's just right. I'm going to turn it down just a skosh.
Smells good.
I'm going to toss some pepper in there. I'm also going to toss some salt in here. And this is my Himalayan pink salt. Tomatoes like salt. I'm just going to put about a half a teaspoon for now. Once we get that cream in there, we're probably going to want to add a little more, but we can just let everybody add it to their serving. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to, oh, see my farm fresh cream. That's a cup right there. And it's going to thicken it up nicely. I'm going to add just another splash. And that's just about right. About a cup of cream. Beautiful. And then we're going to give it a taste. Like I said, if you want this smooth like a bisque, go ahead and wazz it up, but I'm not gonna. Oh. That is the best tomato soup you will ever eat.
Better than any crap out of a can.
That's absolutely true. Let's get a bowl. You know what? We'll do a soup mug. I have a friend who likes to put a pat of butter on her tomato soup. That's a very, very froofy kind of 60s dinner party thing to do. And yeah, you've made more than you're going to eat for dinner. Put it in a mason jar, put it in your fridge, take it to work for lunch. Send it to school with your kids in a thermos. They will be happy. There you have it. Homemade, quick and easy cream and tomato soup that did not come out of a can, that you made yourself, that you know what's in it, and you know all the ingredients, and they're all one-word ingredients. tomatoes, oil, cream, chicken broth. Okay, that's 2 words. So you'll forgive me for that, right? Okay. I hope you try this and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see you.